My sister died giving birth. My brother-in-law died the next morning. For 70 years I knew who killed him. For 70 years I did nothing. I was right. Origin Protocol. Witness File 010, Subject Designation, Witness, E010. Sector East Operational Zone. The case is the death of Ahmad bin Razak, of Kampung Teluk, Pahang Province, Federation of Malaya, recorded as an animal attack on the morning of the 3rd of June, 1953. I am Noor binti Abdullah. I was 23 years old when my sister Siti died. I am 93 now. I have outlived my mother, my father, my brother, my sister's husband, every policeman who came to the rubber plantation that morning, and every person in Kampung Teluk who asked me why I would not marry. I am the only one left who can say what I am going to say. My sister Siti was one year older than me. She married Ahmad bin Razak in the rainy season of 1951. Ahmad was a rubber tapper on the estate at the edge of the kampung. He was 27 years old when they married. He was a quiet man. He was polite to my father. He carried himself like a man who had made a reasonable choice. My sister was happy in the first year. In the second year she was quieter. I saw her in the mornings when she came to fetch water from our family well. She had begun to walk slowly. I thought this was because she was tired. In the 4th month of my sister's pregnancy, Ahmad stopped coming to our house for the evening meal on Fridays. My mother noticed. My mother said only, "Men grow busy." My sister said nothing. I said nothing. I thought at 23 I understood what men did. I did not understand what my sister did. She stayed. My sister's labor began on the 22nd of May, 1953. It began in the afternoon. My mother sent me to fetch the Biden, the village midwife. The Biden was in the next kampung, 8 kilometers away, attending another birth that had already taken 3 days. She would not come. My mother sent me to the district clinic. The clinic was 22 kilometers away. I was told by the orderly at the desk that plantation workers' wives were seen on Thursdays. It was a Friday. I ran back through the rubber estate. I arrived at our house after dark. Ahmad was not there. My sister was on the sleeping mat. My mother was alone with her. My sister lived through the night. The child did not. My sister lived through the dawn. She did not see the sun. My sister looked at me twice before she died. The first time she looked at me she was trying to say something. The second time she was not trying anymore. She was looking at me the way a person looks at a letter she has finished writing. Ahmad was found on the morning of the 3rd of June, 1953. 11 days after my sister's funeral. The foreman of the rubber estate came to our house at 6 in the morning. He asked for my father. My father was in Kuantan that week. The foreman would not tell my mother what had happened. My mother sent me. I walked with the foreman through the rubber rows to the edge of the plantation where the banana trees began. Ahmad was at the base of the 3rd tree. He was on his back. His arms were at his sides. There was no blood on the ground. There was no blood on his clothes. There was nothing on him that a coroner would later write down as a cause of death. He was looking up. His mouth was slightly open. His eyes were not closed. The foreman said an animal. I said yes. The police came in the afternoon. They asked me the same question 4 times. Each time I said yes. I did not say what I had already understood on the walk back through the rubber rows. I had understood it before we reached our house. I have never needed to revise it. I did not come to understand what had happened in one morning. I came to understand it over 70 years. In 1954 the plantation foreman told me, without meaning to, that Ahmad had been seen in the next kampung during the second month of my sister's pregnancy. He was visiting a woman who was not my sister. In 1963 a midwife from the next kampung told me, over tea, that she had been asked by Ahmad not to come to Kampung Teluk on the day my sister's labor began. She had not known it was my sister. She had thought it was a different woman who was not yet near her time. In 1981 a district clerk who was retiring allowed me to look at the old clinic register for May 1953. My sister's name had not been entered. The entries for that Friday were plantation managers' families. In 1996 my brother gave me the tin box in which our father had kept Ahmad's letters. I read them for the first time that winter. I was 66 years old. I did not know which of these three weights was the heaviest. I do not think my sister knew either. I think she died without being able to separate them. I think she was still separating them when she came back. I did not speak for 61 days after Ahmad's funeral. My mother thought it was grief. The imam thought it was grief. The village thought it was grief. It was not grief. It was the time I needed to decide what I was going to do with what I knew. On the 62nd day I spoke. I spoke about the garden and the rain and the price of rice. I did not speak about my sister. I did not speak about Ahmad. I did not speak about what I had seen at the base of the third banana tree. My mother began to ask me about marriage in the autumn of 1954. I told her I was not ready. She asked me again in the spring of 1955. I told her I was not ready. She asked me for the last time in 1967, the year before she died. I told her I was not ready. She looked at me for a long time. She did not ask me again. I do not think she understood. I think she understood that I was not going to explain. A mother can live with that. A mother has lived with harder things than a daughter who will not explain. In 1954 a man from the next kampung asked for my hand. I refused. In 1961 a man from Kuantan asked. I refused. In 1970 a widower from my own kampung asked. I did not answer. Every year on the 22nd of May I planted plumeria. The first year at my sister's grave. The second year at Ahmad's grave. The third year at the base of the third banana tree. I had no reason for why. When my nieces asked about their Aunt Siti I said this. She was quiet. She liked the morning rain. She died very young. I did not say the rest. In 1987 a woman in Kampung Tanjung died in childbirth. I walked 11 kilometers to her funeral. I placed plumeria on her grave. I did not know her name. I thought someone should. In 1994 the Biden of Kampung Teluk died without passing on her knowledge to anyone. Her daughter had moved to Kuala Lumpur. I learned what I could from the old women who remembered. I did not call myself a Biden. I was not one. But I knew how to place iron needles in a woman's palms and why. I kept needles in a cloth bundle in the kitchen drawer. I did not explain the bundle. Nobody asked. Origin Protocol has told me what the file says. Echo E010. A predator. The entity classified as apex. I do not dispute the classification. I only want to explain what I came to understand at 90. For 67 years I thought I had been mourning. That is what the village thought. That is what my mother thought. That is what the nieces who visit me on Hari Raya have always thought. On my 90th birthday I understood that mourning finishes. Mourning is a road. You walk it and at some point you come to the end of it and you stop. I did not stop. I had not been mourning. I had been maintaining. The plumeria at 3 graves. The refusal of 3 men. The needles in the kitchen drawer. The silence about Ahmad. The 11 kilometers to a stranger's funeral in Kampung Teluk. These were not a widow's practices. I was not a widow. These were the practices of a person who was keeping something in the world that should not have been there on its own. My sister could not stay by herself. She needed a living person who would not speak and would not marry and would plant flowers on 3 graves every year without being asked why. That person was me. That person was me for 70 years. I did nothing. I was right. I have been the silence where my sister could still speak. When I die, the silence ends. I do not know what my sister will do then. I do not know if what comes after is still her. I only know that for 70 years it was. File remains open. I am ready.